whether you was watching them in their camp sparring or watching them fighting? Who just was like to you on another level?
I'll give you three names.
Yeah.
I'll give you three names. Let's do Britain first. Joe Calzaghey.
Okay.
In my opinion, there was...
And tell me about
I love
that.
John.
Why?
I love John Conte. I love Ken Buchanan. Going right back. Lennox Lewis was an amazing fighter.
Yeah.
Joe Calzaghey. I had a connection with him. My stepmom's from Newbridge. I had a connection with his dad.
Yeah.
So I knew about him since he was 13 years old. You know, he became a three-weight ABA champion. He was unbelievable, Joe. Naturally,
Even
the most
as an
talented
amateur.
guy. As an amateur the whole way through.
Could you see from an amateur
I'm telling you,
that
he
this guy's
he
gonna
was
be
bullied
doing-
as a kid. And he was born to fight. I'm telling you, he was born to box, not to fight. He was born to box. And I think his dedication, I think that he had the bizarre relationship with his dad, which worked. He had the valleys, and he had so much natural talent. And I think Joe retired at 46-0. Okay, did he fight, Ben Eubank and Collins at their peak? Maybe not.
Cool.
Did he fight Jones and Hopkins at their peak? Maybe not. But he beat everyone that was in front of him. He had a rough night with Robin Reed. Maybe he didn't get that one. There's a couple of bad performances against David Starry. But for me, Joe Calzaghey was the greatest that we have produced in many, many years.
Awesome.
But on a universal, a global scale, two fighters that I will always treasure watching in the gym time after time and commentating and being at ringside for. One had what Teddy Atlas used to call a shooting star. He was gone before he was, and that was Roy Jones. There was a moment in Roy Jones's history, about a year, where he was untouchable. And to watch him in the gym and to watch him fight was pure magic. But I think for longevity and the fact that he took it from the beginning to the end, the best fighter I've seen since, natural talent-wise, since Sugar Ray Leonard is definitively Floyd Mayweather. He was incredible in a ring. He was incredible in training. He used to run back from nightclubs when his boys were all out there and his trainers. He was never out of shape. I never, ever saw him out of shape. He was brilliantly talented. To watch him in a gym with a rope, to watch him on the pads, to watch him spar, a pleasure, an honour. And to see him ringside and to see the impact he had on boxing and the fact that he had perfected a style that could take him up through the weights. He was tiny. It took him up through the weights. And I interviewed Floyd. I was in Atlanta when he got robbed. He should have won gold. He didn't. He got bronze, and he was robbed that. And from then on, I was fascinated by Floyd Mayweather. I interviewed him after 3 or 4 fights. We had a walk around Big Bear together. He was talking about fighting Naz at that time. So I've always had a sort of a connection with Floyd, and he's always kept himself to himself and his team around him with Leonard Ellaby and obviously his dad and his uncle and that whole Mayweather the clan. But there's no question, love him, hate him, the pretty boy, the money man, whatever you say, the greatest fighter I have ever seen live is Floyd Mayweather. Wow. And that's going to take some beating.
Wow. I look at this guy and, as you said, love him, hate him, however you feel about him. What he brings to the table is the greatest lesson that you can teach any young person coming up. Put the work in.